Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hello, my name is John Lestrange. I host a podcast called Jenna Story, We Agreed to Do This, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is an action role-playing game developed by Bethesda Game Studios. It's the fourth main game in the Fallout series and was released worldwide in 2015. The game's set in an open-world post-apocalyptic environment, just like the rest of the Fallout games, although this one encompasses the city of Boston and the surrounding Massachusetts region known as the Commonwealth. The main story of the game takes place in the year 2287, 10 years after the events of Fallout 3 and 210 years after the Great War, which caused the catastrophic nuclear devastation that you traipse through in all of the Fallout games. You, the player, assume control of a character referred to as the sole survivor. You get to create your own character, decide what they look like, how they sound, hair color, eye color, general body structure, scars and whatnot. This is actually the first game that I've ever played in which you could actually create a fat character, which is a pretty big thing for character creation in games. If you've ever listened to the Reignite podcast, you'll know there are no fat people in space or in any of the Mass Effect games. So seeing it in this Bethesda game, Fallout 4, was pretty phenomenal. The reason that I like Fallout 4, and really most of the Fallout games, is your ability to make decisions that affect the world. It's also why I like playing BioWare games. Although the decision-making system for Bethesda games is a bit different than it is for BioWare games. Whereas in BioWare games, you make conversation choices that, give you Renegade or Paragon points, and you make decisions that either, steer the galaxy one way or the other. In the Fallout games, and really any Bethesda game, you join what are called factions, and you do quests for these factions, and you decide to, join and usually eventually become the leader of those factions through the various missions that you do for them. But a lot of these factions are going to be at odds with each other, so your actions for one faction will put you in direct competition or antagonism with another one. In Fallout 4, the main factions are the Brotherhood of Steel, a quasi-paramilitary group of people who seek to take all advanced technology and hoard it so that the people of the Commonwealth can't abuse it. They see the Commonwealth, or really just the United States' abuse of technology as the reason for the nuclear apocalypse we now find ourselves in. We've also got the Minutemen, a citizen militia who styles themselves after Revolutionary War militiamen, both in weaponry and in outfitry, although their muskets are laser muskets. It's pretty cool, actually. And they really just want to get the Commonwealth back on an even keel. There's also and these are really the two big ones for how I play the game, the Railroad and the Institute. Now, the Railroad and the Institute are absolutely at odds with each other in a way that couldn't possibly be clearer. The Institute is a secret, shadowy cabal of scientists that live somewhere that no one actually knows where it is. No one's found the Institute in all the time that they've been living in the Commonwealth. And I'm not going to spoil you on where the Institute is in case you want to play the game, but it's pretty cool where they have themselves holed up. The Institute created a race of synthetic human beings. They created AI that they call synths. First generation synths look kind of like the robots from iRobot, but if, they were out in a nuclear wasteland for several decades. Then there are generation 3 synths that look and act exactly like human beings. They are an organic AI, it seems. They just happen to have, programmable chips in their head. So they are, robots, and they can be shut down and programmed and have their memories wiped, etc., so forth. They just look exactly like human beings. And the Institute is they're actually doing this, replacing human beings with synths as part of a long-running experiment they're doing using the Commonwealth as their, experimental group. The Railroad sees these synths as being, life deserving of life, an idea that I can absolutely get behind. We don't have really fully self-actualized AI in our world right now, but I am a little terrified as to the human response towards a fully realized AI based purely on just look at any sci-fi that's ever existed, and you will see how absolutely wild it can get when human beings have to deal with AI. But the Railroad seeks to liberate those synths that the Institute literally uses as slave labor, and give them their sense of freedom. And I really like this about the Fallout game, the ability to, you join the Underground Railroad, and your job is to help ferry synths out of Institute control to get them outside of the Commonwealth where they can go on and live new lives free of Institute control. It's a great, amazing game, and its ability to let me join this literal fight for freedom is something that really appealed to me as I was playing it. It's one of the reasons why when I wrote my second book, Representations of Genocide in Video Games, I used Fallout 4 as one of the case studies. I could not recommend this game highly enough. It's going to take you a while to get through, and as with all open world games, there are hundreds of side quests that you can get yourself lost in, all of which really flesh out the picture of life in the Commonwealth, some of which involve aliens. It's a weird, cool, ridiculous game, and I love it to absolute pieces. So if you haven't already played it, I could not recommend highly enough that you go out and get Fallout 4 and play it and enjoy it as much as I have. Thanks for joining me on this side quest. Happy gaming.
Why, hello there, podcast friend. I'm Ash Blodgett, co-host of the podcast Let's Rewatch. Together with my co-host and Red Opera D&D campaign writer Pat Edwards, we made a short film in quarantine called Joining Call. And it's finally coming out. The film is the story of a group of people trying to get together to play D&D via a video chat. But all the usual quarantine issues get in the way, such as kids.
Daddy, is this Game of Thrones?
Bobby, what are you doing?
Daddy,
No, come on, it's bedtime.
Poor internet connections.
Thou must cast ye techno devils from thine magic picture box.
Couples at each other's throats.
I want to blow some ogres up with a fireball.
Why is your first instinct to always kill things?
And more.
Zoe, stop drinking. Oh, that reminds me. I haven't had the boss yet.
The film basically takes a snapshot of what life is like right now through the lens of nerds. So join us on our quest November 20th over on my YouTube channel, LaughStashTV, for the film's premiere. You can get there by going to youtube.com/LaughStashTV. And that's stash as in STASH. Till then, I'll just be over here practicing my nat 20s. Ooh, critical hit.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.